I'm beginning to think these fools need some government issued Snickers bars. They're just freaking angry all the damn time. This knucklehead, Mervyn Culpepper from Chesapeake, Virginia, this deputy knucklehead has been charged with strangulation. A Chesapeake sheriff's deputy faces a strangulation charge after officers respond to a domestic dispute over the weekend. Wavy reached out to Chesapeake police about the case, and they confirmed officers were dispatched to a home in the 2500 block of Ballahack Road in the southern end of the city around 10 p.m. on Saturday. Officers met with the victim and witnesses at the scene and arrested 35-year-old Mervyn Culpepper as a result of the investigation. He was taken to Western Tidewater Regional Jail. And all right, Mervyn. Mervyn, keep your hands off of people, Mervyn. Folks, we have here a serial law enforcement agent. He hopped from one agency to the next and was slipping under the radar and doing some dirty things. They call him a former deputy charged with soliciting a minor. They always call them former deputies when you're dealing with a headline, but he was indeed a deputy when the dirty deed was done. All right, former Doddridge County Sheriff's Deputy and West Virginia Police Trooper. Oh, he was a police trooper as well. Andrew J. Mendez was charged with several crimes related to sexual assault involving a minor. Jury selection for the trial of the former deputy begins today, January 10th, 2024. Okay. Officials say the trial is scheduled to begin today if jury selection doesn't take too long. Dang, they're going to get right to it. I think we got all the evidence we need here, folks. According to the official indictment, the grand jury charges that Mendez committed the offense of soliciting a minor via computer, sexual abuse of a person of trust, and sexual abuse in the third degree. Well, Trooper Menendez. Wish we had a picture of your dumbass. All right. Oh, Lordy. Here's another overpaid knucklehead who just couldn't keep his hands out of other people's pockets. This federal officer charged with stealing cash from airline passenger at Naples Airport. What a prick. Fort Myers, Florida, United States Attorney Roger B. Handberg announces the arrest and filing of a criminal complaint charging William Joseph Timothy. Okay, wait a second. Let's give the guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was just trying to put a down payment on a last name. Anyways, 43 years old from Naples, a U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer, was stealing cash from the international airline passenger during the course of his employment at CBP. Okay, if convicted, Timothy faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in federal prison. According to court documents, after an international airline passenger reported that more than $2,000 in cash was missing after it had been inspected by a CBP officer at Naples Airport, an investigation was undertaken by agents from CBP's Office of Professional Responsibility. During the investigation, surveillance video was examined, which showed Timothy. Let's make sure that's the right guy. Oh, yeah, William Joseph Timothy, hiding and taking approximately 22 bills of U.S. currency belonging to the airline passenger during a border enforcement examination in May 2023. You know, he didn't have any problem doing that. It was just a daily routine. That was not his first time doing that, allegedly. Old Joseph Timothy, William Timothy Joseph, whatever the hell his name is a criminal. And the second, he probably became a criminal as soon as he put the badge on and the suit. He, he wasn't that way until he put it on. He put it on and it's like, hey, this feels good. I'm a criminal. Probably not the worst story we'll hear out of New Mexico today, but it's one that indeed belongs on the Bad Apple report. And that Bad Apple is Joey Graves, a 36-year-old deputy. Okay, a deputy with the Taos County Sheriff's Office, Joey Graves, is facing charges after state police investigation early Sunday morning of January 7th. The state police officer responded to the home at the 300 block of Hondo Seco Road at 1 a.m., and the response was due to an active domestic violence situation. State police dispatch informed the officer the Dallas County Sheriff's Office had responded to the home, according to the court documents. Its deputies told that 36-year-old Joey Graves not to return. However, the female victim called law enforcement due to Graves coming back to the home Graves is a deputy with the Dallas County Sheriff's Office. He's in trouble now. The state officer arrived to find Graves in the doorway with his hands on the top of his head. He was placed in the back seat of a patrol unit. Graves told police he was there to get her to sign divorce papers. Okay, he's there to get her to sign divorce papers. He also told police he grabbed an AR-15 style rifle because he and a family member were going to hunt later in the morning, according to court documents. The female victim told police she was at dinner and arrived at her home and found Graves there. The two got into an argument, which led to the victim calling Dallas Dispatch. This caused Graves to leave, but later to return to the home. The victim told police Graves entered the home without knocking and began to argue again. The second exchange between the two led to the victim calling state police dispatch. However, she told the state police the call was ended by Graves. Now that is a crime in and of itself, Mr. Graves. The deputy is now charged with assault against a household member and negligent use of a deadly weapon. Graves is on paid administrative leave as an. Wow, this is going to get interesting. I'm sure they've begun the sweeping under the rug effect. Knuckleheads.
Albuquerque police updating a crash involving one of their officers and a pedestrian. We had this as breaking news last night. It happened on 98 near Central. The department saying the police car hit a woman. They say the officer immediately notified personnel, and the investigation shows speed was not a factor, they claim, and the driver applied brakes before hitting the person.
Wow. He was nice enough to apply brakes before hitting her. Speed was not a factor. They didn't say anything about alcohol. One thing's for sure, negligence must have been a factor. Okay. A Steelton Borough police officer was charged with sexual assault and other offenses this week after a woman accused him of raping her in her own home, state police said in court documents. A trooper wrote in charging documents Thursday that the woman alleged Justin Hain, 38, of Likens, forced himself on her despite being told to absolutely not touch her. A young child was allegedly present during the incident, police said in an affidavit. Hain, who was sworn into the Steelton Police Department in November, has been suspended, according to the borough's mayor, Sierra Dent. She would not say if Hain is being paid during the suspension. Dauphin County District Attorney Fran Chardo said in a phone call that investigators between the victim and Hain allowed authorities to move quickly on an arrest. The wiretap was an important step in this case to get the defendant's version of events, and he made important admissions during the course of that interview, essentially conceding that it happened. Hain has previously worked as a deputy with the Dauphin County Sheriff's Office, according to county spokesperson. Chardo said Hain had also experience in the police Middleton and Royalton. Hain was is in the Dauphin County prison with bail set at $50,000. Is that all? Though an inmate database said he bonded out. He's out. He's watching these videos. Hey, Hain, welcome to the Bad Apple Report, you knucklehead. Another day, another hero in the headlines.
Occurred this week in Likens, but the person who was arrested in this case is a police officer who works here at the Steelton Borough. Steelton police officer Justin Hain is facing charges including rape and other offenses, according to state police. A trooper wrote in charging documents that a woman said Hain on Wednesday forced himself on her, despite telling him not to touch her. A child was also allegedly present at the time of the incident.
These are very disturbing charges.
Dauphin County District Attorney Fran Chardo says after the victim reported what happened to police, investigators arranged to record a phone conversation between the victim and Hain.
The wiretap was an important step in this case to get the defendant's version of events, and he made important admissions on that recorded interview basically conceding that it happened.
The DA says Hain has previously worked in the Dauphin County Sheriff's Office as well as the Royalton and Middletown police departments. Mayor Sierra Dent in Steelton confirmed Hain's suspension from the borough police force, but would not say if he is suspended with.
Okay, we know he's suspended with pay. All right, there you have it. Another serial cop goes from one place to the next doing this kind of thing. And you know how you can tell the bad cops? They got those little Betty Crocker hairdos. What a creep. Also, they all dress alike and they all have a little black ring and a pigs. Oh, they only hire the smart ones. Oh, just kidding. Cleveland. Well, Mantua police officer charged. Yep, they hire the smart ones there. A Mantua Police Department officer is on paid administrative leave after being charged with endangering children, officials confirmed. Well, let's just hear what this story has to say.
The police officer is on leave after investigators are looking into claims that she put her own child in danger. See New Yorker has developing details from Portage County.
This is Mantua police officer Miranda Brothers, and officials say she's off the force after being charged with endangering her 5-year-old child. Investigators say the 28-year-old woman left her child in the care of Sebastian Paratori, who is a registered sex offender. The complaint was filed New Year's Day by a Portage County sheriff's deputy who wrote Officer Brothers left her child, quote, alone without any other adult supervision with Paratori at the Main Street sub shop on Main Street back in December. Paratori is the owner of the business. Court documents show Paratori was convicted of sexual battery of a juvenile back in 2017, and according to the registry, is a level 3 sex offender. Mayor Tammy Meyer was not available to go on camera, but says Officer Brothers has been placed on paid administrative leave.
Well, you can still have your pay, and you can sit there in the corner and think about what you've done and hope you haven't ruined your child's future. In my opinion, this Sheriff Villanueva testifying on the deputy gangs, this is all just media fluffery for him and his campaign. He's running for supervisor, county supervisor, or whatever. This guy is a cheeseball. I've seen him on some podcasts here lately, but now he's out in the public talking about it. So he thinks conspiring and violating people's rights and doing what these guys do, beating up teenagers and stuff, putting tattoos on, and all the little symbols they do, the notches on the gun. That's just softball team stuff. So after defying subpoenas to testify under oath about deputy gangs, former Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva finally appeared Friday before a civilian policing hearing and acknowledged the existence of subgroups within the sheriff's department. Subgroups. Refusing to label the groups gangs. Well, the whole damn thing is a gang, by the way. They have their own flag. We know that. I won't interrupt. Villanueva told the panel that sheriff's subgroups have always existed in one shape or another across time and likened them to softball teams. The statement was a reversal from the ex-sheriff's previous stance that such cliques did not exist within the LASD. Special Counsel Bert H. Dykesler, who is leading the county sheriff civilian oversight commission probe, then asked Villanueva, who is running for county supervisor against incumbent Janice Hahn, whether elected officials and those seeking office should have an obligation to speak truthfully when addressing the public. Well, he's a cop. It's going to be a tough one for him. Always, the former sheriff responded. Dykes, you haven't always told the truth to the public about deputy gangs, cliques, and subgroups in the sheriff's department, have you, sir? Villanueva answered, false. Dykes then played a tape of a debate between Villanueva and current LASD Sheriff Robert Luna during the retired sheriff's failed re-election bid 2 years ago. In the tape, Villanueva insists that the phrase deputy gangs has become a political buzzword, and such groups are, in fact, like unicorns Everyone knows what a unicorn looks like, but I challenge you to name one. Name a single deputy gang member. I'll name one, Villanueva, allegedly. The hearing Friday before a packed house of Loyola Law School was broadcast online on several platforms, including YouTube. The commission was notified on Villanueva's decision to appear in a letter last month stating that the former lawman is very willing to testify at the meeting and will answer any question you have under oath. Because an oath don't mean nothing to this guy. The decision came days after a county judge scheduled a hearing to decide whether to order the former sheriff to comply with the commission's subpoenas. A report last April by the commission's special counsel described deputy gangs as a cancer that must be excised. Villanueva's nearly 4 hour testimony touched on such issues as his appointment of Tim Murakami, an alleged tattooed member of the so-called Gang of Cavemen, to the position of undersheriff. Oh, of course, got to have that guy as undersheriff. And his alleged order to Matthew Burson, a captain in the department, to pause an investigation into the off-duty brawl at a party in East Los Angeles in 2018, where older members of the Bandito deputy gang were said to have assaulted younger non-Bandito deputies. A Rand Corporation report last year found that 15% to 20% of Los Angeles Sheriff's Department deputies join gangs. 15 to 20% of them. Oh, I wonder how they treat the other ones, whose membership is usually confirmed by a leg tattoo, often bearing a number. Oh, you freaks. Okay. Questioning at the oversight hearing also touched on Friday's Los Angeles Times story regarding a 2022 fight between off duty deputies and a group of teenagers outside a Montclair bowling alley where one of the deputies allegedly flashed a handgun and one deputy punched a 19-year-old in the face. Two of the men in the group, one deputy and one sergeant, allegedly admitted to investigators that they had matching tattoos, which officials linked to the Industry Indians gang based out of the City of Industry Sheriff's Station. A 2021 Loyola Law School report identified 18 such groups, known by names like the Grim Reapers, the Banditos, and the Executioners, and now the previously known Industry Indians, according to the Times. Asked about the bowling alley incident, Villanueva denied it was an example of deputy gang or subgroup behavior, instead labeling it as misconduct among deputies. Asked if he found the story outrageous, the ex-sheriff said he did not have enough information to form an opinion. Wow. The former lawman also suggested that deputy cliques were actually disappearing since they're getting better at hiding it, as personnel changes and tattoos are becoming prevalent in the department. Okay, despite often sarcastic, contentious questions and answers, Villanueva appeared to agree to return for more questioning in March. We don't really even care anymore, Villanueva. Last year, the commission's 70-page report said at least half dozen deputies, gangs, and cliques are currently active throughout the LA County Sheriff's Department, and that misbehavior by members has already cost taxpayers more than $55 million. So, in other words, it's a fact they exist. They cost millions of dollars and they're still on duty. The report determined that new deputy cliques form as members of existing groups retire or otherwise leave the sheriff's department. The special counsel also found evidence to suggest that gangs are reemerging in the men's central jail after efforts over the years to eradicate the problem of excessive force behind bars. The LA County Board of Supervisors voted to implement the commission January 2016, oversee the improved transparency, blah, 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 legal dispute between 2020. Supervisors granted the commissioner subpoena power, gives them blah, blah, blah. Also 2020 commission. Okay, look, we're looking at some serious expose of gang activity among cops. So this is about the LA Sheriff's Department, but it's nationwide. They're in every little nook and cranny. And you can tell them by their sleeve tattoos and their black rings and their blue line flags. But the point is, we have a problem. It's nationwide, and there's a gang, and they are called cops.